Hey there, how's it going everybody? Welcome back, Plant Abundance here. We are having a beautiful mid-January day, and you know me, if it's a beautiful day, no doubt I'm going to be outside working in the garden. Especially right now is a great time to start getting things planted in the ground here in Zone 9B, getting it ready for spring. So I've done some row cropping. I'll share with you what I've done here in a moment, but right now I'm working on a little patch of soil. I had mounded up some soil that I took from the front yard, had a bunch of weeds in it, and it had some wood chips in there as well. Just mounded it up to let it compost down over the last year and a half or so. And during that time, I put some Jerusalem artichoke tubers in there, put some cuttings from some abundant tree collard in there, and they both did very well. And at this point now, I'm taking that soil out. I'm using it to fill my concrete raised beds that I had made. And I'm coming across a big abundance of tubers, and I wanted to share with you the two different types of Jerusalem artichokes I'm growing. So here's the area I'm working on right now, and as you can see, the soil that I've been digging up over here from this mound, it's turned into this really beautiful soil. This is going to be perfect for the raised bed. There are still bits of wood chip in here, but the majority of this has been broken down to the point where it's not going to tie up much of the nitrogen, if any. And really what we're left with here, and this was once just completely full of oxalis weeds, dandelion weeds, things that I'd taken from the front yard, and now we've just got this wonderful soil ready to go. And this was one plant of Jerusalem artichoke right here. You can see I'm still pulling some tubers out. We got some nice, beautiful tubers. If you're not yet growing Jerusalem artichoke, I highly recommend you give it a try. An abundant food crop, also produces a beautiful sunflower. It is in the sunflower family. And over in this area, I had another variety, the purple tubered Jerusalem artichoke. It's got some really beautiful color on these. And I'll just show you a side-by-side comparison. By the way, I noticed just the other day I went to my local Whole Foods and they were selling these Jerusalem artichoke tubers in the produce section. So you might want to check that out. That could be a local resource where you could go get some of these tubers and get them in the ground this spring. So here are two new garden beds that I recently made and planted some rows of Swiss chard, cabbage, spinach, broccoli, here's some radish, a couple other things. So I'm just going to keep on digging this area down to level and filling up the wheelbarrow. Then I got this little ramp here going into this raised bed. And I'm just going to continue to top this off with that soil. Got the chainsaw out. I just took down a tree that was over in this area. It was a fruitless mulberry. I've got 4 of them back here. A little bit of overkill. These are trees I didn't plant, but when we moved here, they were already here. And what's going to be going in its place is a persimmon tree. I've actually got 2 persimmon trees that are going to be going over there. So here's all the branches just from that one tree that I've now piled up all in the same direction. This is the first stage for the cleanup. Basically what I'll do is just go branch by branch with my machete and trim down the side branches and make several different piles depending on the size of the branches. And we'll go from there, see what we can do with it. Whether it's build hugelkultur, bring it to a green waste facility, create biochar. So next up, and I know a lot of people aren't too fond of cutting down larger trees like this, but again, this is a tree that was on the property. I had always intended to take it out. I had mentioned this in the past. And I'm working on this now, getting the limbs out. Got a rope tied off there. Going to be bringing this tree down soon. Going to just open it up. I'm going to have a pawpaw tree planted over there next to this citrus we've got. And you can see just how much shade this tree actually brings into the garden. It can be nice when you're establishing younger plants to have an overstory that allows for some shade. But this is too much at this point, and really I'd like to put something there that's going to offer us some sort of a harvest. Still harvesting plenty of kumquats here. And this stick poking out of the ground here is a spiced nectar plum. I bought this as a bare root, then I went ahead and cut it down at about knee level. And sooner than later we'll start to get some new growth, and we'll start to shape that to create a nice foundation for this tree to produce loads of fruit in the future. I also went around a couple weeks ago and I did some dormant spray of some copper fungicide on these trees. I had mentioned this before, but I hope that in the future I can get away from having to do any type of a spray like that and instead stick to things like compost tea, liquid kelp, and just good fertilizer, and just have a nice soil. But for now, don't want to lose all the hard work that we put into this project, and I just want to ensure that the trees stay healthy, they don't develop any fungal disease that is going to stop us from getting any type of a harvest. So went ahead and did that spray. Copper is an organic treatment, and I've just done it once. I'll probably do it one more time again before these trees actually start to produce flowers. We got new growth popping up everywhere. The borage is coming back strong. You can see I pruned back most of this ashitaba, and now we're left with a bunch of little healthy plants everywhere. Right here in the middle we've got a sea buckthorn. All the greens still going strong. So I just got this package in the mail. I'm pretty excited about this one. I already know what it is, but let me open it up and share with you guys. this is bigger than I thought it would be. So this is a Pakistan mulberry. These can get really large, 25-30 feet. This is going to be planted in place of a different fruitless mulberry that's growing back here. And these plants produce loads of 3 to 4 inch berries. You can harvest these by the bucket load once you got a mature tree. And typically the way it's harvested, you put a tarp around the ground, just let the fruit drop and just harvest it right from the tarp. I'm going to be putting this in my chicken coop area around the chicken run, so any berries that drop the chickens can enjoy as well. Also, it's going to be food for the wild birds in the area. But look into the Pakistan mulberry. Alice is doing some clearing over in this garden patch, taking away some of the sweet potato green vines, or as they say in Tagalog, kamote tops. Right, sweetie?
Yes, kamote tops.
Hello, sir. Yeah, that tree is gone. Hello, Happy. Sun's starting to go down. We're just finishing up out here. Still pulling beautiful tubers out of the ground. So these plants died back months ago, and these tubers have just been storing in the ground perfectly. And here are all those abundant tree kale cuttings that I had stuck in here. So that's it for now. Just wanted to give you all a quick update, share with you what I'm doing back here. Still a lot of work to get done. I'm enjoying every minute of it. Hope you guys are getting prepared for this upcoming spring season. And with that, I hope this video finds you and finds you well. I'll be talking to you again soon. Take care.